Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. This edition of The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books. Remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether a gift of Grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. Whimsical, casual, or formal, and all you. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms like Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Don't forget to take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at themikewagnershow.com. Also on Amazon.com under the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. Makes great Christmas gifts year round. And don't forget to check out the Me and Most and Zia store at Amazon for great merchandise, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and more, and great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles as well. Make sure you check those out. And don't forget to donate to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Also on Anchor FM/support and PayPal. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who is a professional adventurer and endurance athlete, and he also is a keynote speaker out of Long Island, and he's done 24-hour ice climbing benefit. He's also done the uphill ski challenge, and he's also done the #1 honor and award, which we're going to talk more about. And he's basically just been on a number of talks. He's been on a number of runs, endurance races, and a lot more. This guy's got a great story to tell. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Long Island, professional adventurer, endurance athlete, and keynote speaker, the very multi-talented Andrew Gillman. Andrew, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Andrew. So you're a professional adventurer, and you're also an endurance athlete. You're also a keynote speaker off Long Island. You have done the 24-hour ice climbing benefit, also uphill ski challenge, and you also got the #1 honor and award. Before we talk about accomplishments, what was that #1 honor award that you have done so far?
Well, I can say it probably was becoming the first American to climb ice for 24 hours. And, what we'll be talking about today will be a first in history. And so that'll be pretty incredible. And, originally being from Long Island and now living and training out of Boulder, Colorado, or wherever my training brings me, it's just such an honor to be able to come back to Long Island and make history.
That's rather interesting. And tell us how you first got started.
I first got started by riding my bike through Port Washington, where I grew up, and that led into triathlon, and then triathlon turned into a career at the elite level, where there was major sponsorship, international travel, and I was one of the fastest cyclists in the United States as an American racing those distances, Olympic and half Ironman, and being one of the top guys, not to mention being a late bloomer and one of the smallest guys in the field. So it was always very nice to have those victories.
And of course, being on the rowing team as well, too, and being the smallest athlete. And what are some of the challenges that presented, and how'd you manage to overcome?
Well, I was never on a rowing team.
Okay.
I picked up rowing as an interest. And the challenges that I really have are nutritionally. It's never been about motivation or showing up somewhere and saying, well, I don't know if I really want to do this. The stoke is there, the excitement's there. It's a matter of the logistics and acquiring the equipment and getting the training and getting to the places I need to be. And it's, the adventure of getting it all together, and then sometimes finding that volunteer team that I don't know exists until 48 hours before the event goes off. And that's just kind of, it's heartbreaking to think, well, because you're not popular enough, then you're not worth somebody showing up for to do something incredible with. And now it's amazing, the outpouring of support to circumnavigate Long Island solo on a coastal rowboat in an Olympic year on the most popular marine craft there is right now. That's human powered, being a coastal, is massive. And I'm absolutely shocked that no one's done this before me.
Man, that is something. And of course, I can imagine being the Olympics, somehow that's going on in Japan. And I was going to ask you too, how much of the Olympics have you watched so far?
I've watched some of it. I was most interested in the triathlon. I'm so disconnected from the sport now. I used to train in the pool with the woman who won, Flora Duffy, and she had a phenomenal race at 155. Which was pretty darn quick in those horrific conditions. And then, of course, watching the coastal race, and that's been put off for a day or two. They're having a typhoon that comes through.
Wow.
So yeah, the waves are going to be great for the surfers, which I believe is the first in history that we've had the Olympic surfing.
Olympic
Yeah, like surfing and skateboarding is brand new, and then coastal rowing is new.
Mm-hmm.
Coastals are like the more wild cousin of the scull. We could surf the boat, we can go into choppy water, we can go to big water. Sculling is calm, flat, protected. There are no waves on a coastal, or sorry, on a scull, because if there is, that boat's going to sink. It's going to fill. They don't self-bail, and you'll lose a $15,000 carbon fiber shell on the low end of things. Mm-hmm. So, it's very exciting right now with the Olympics, and unfortunately, there's no spectators, and just it's great that they have it going. It's very hard to keep your attitude together. Mm-hmm. And so it's just an added challenge.
I was reading something about that with the Olympics as well, too, that the Tokyo officials are very disappointed with the small crowds. And of course, they're dealing with the coronavirus, the COVID, and Delta variants that coming in and whatever else. And also there's also backlash, 4 years ago with the Olympics, basically with the a number of scandals like with doping scandals. And I mean, just everything imaginable. It's like every scandal possible just literally ruined the Olympics. And it's like right now they have to start the Olympics all over from scratch practically.
Which is needed. We need to have a clean culture of racing. We need to have, a clean culture of adventuring where people don't misstate what they've done and that they own their truth. One of my biggest ethos is that, I don't want to be misrepresented for a professional rower or an expert rower. I'm a brand new rower with the mentality that I can achieve anything with the right training and some support for my own safety. I am new at rowing, mm-hmm. and I'm only getting better every day and more proficient. And I'm very strong. I train my brains out, and this isn't the adventure is pretty much defined as something that isn't smooth or dreamlike always. Mm-hmm. And we want to try to avoid adventure. So we go in with a great attitude and positive mindset and well supported and well trained with the correct gear and knowing how to use your gear, and you understand your nutrition, and you go in there and you give it absolutely everything. And if you find your limit during that experience, then you're done. If you exceed that limit, you're probably going to get hurt, or you're going to get carried off on a stretcher or worse. Mm-hmm. And
what's your typical day like when it comes to getting involved in training, triathlons, extreme and everything like that? What is your typical day like?
In triathlon, it was pretty much wake up, breakfast, get your pool session. Pool session would be about 3,000 meters on the low end, and up to about 5,000 typically on the bigger times during the winter. Coaches will run us, we're all training our own schedule, but if you're at a master's workout, which is pretty much any workout not in college, you're going to do 5,000 meters. And I'd always do an extra 1,000 or 1,500 on the end, regardless of how fast or long or whatever we did. 1.5K off with every workout. Miles make champions. Mm-hmm. From there, it'd be like a bit of, hang out for about an hour and 15, eat, drink, get my bike kit on, and go out and ride for about an average of 3.5 hours up to 6.5 hours, depending on time of year. And short evil sessions would be about 2.5. And that was pretty much just everything I had. Some days were all three, and I'd finish off a hard ride with a long, steady run of up to 2 hours and 10 minutes. Wow. And after about a 7-hour day of training, I'd eat everything. I'd eat a box of cookies, and I'd eat a pound. I'd eat a pound. I'd eat a pound of roast beef within 2 sittings, and then I'd have dinner.
Boy, you're putting this to shame. And of course, I saw in your profile as well, too, that your number one honor award is eating 14 voodoo donuts a day and plenty of monster drinks. I can only eat 2 chocolate donuts.
I have eaten 14 donuts in a day. I don't know if I want to repeat that anytime soon. but they're good. They're good. I mean, I'm a Monster Energy athlete, and they're very generous and treat me well. And I only drink half a can at a time. It's just way too much for me to drink all of it. Oh yeah.
Interesting. I thought you'd be drinking like, just down them like, like water or Coke or anything like that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I think I handled maybe a few sips of Monster. Like, oh, here we go.
They're potent. They're potent, and my stomach is rather rebellious, and will let me know that it's angry faster than I want. And I'll drink half a Monster, and I'll have some Power Bar product, and make sure I have enough sugar load and caffeine and complex carbohydrates, and go into an hour and 15-minute workout with about 12 tablespoons of peanut butter, or about a quarter jar of peanut butter. And it's only 130 calories a tablespoon for almond butter or peanut butter. A large banana, some honey, cinnamon, dates, walnuts, and half a Monster. And then a bag of energy gels, energy chews.
Mm-hmm.
Then go work out for like an hour and 40 minutes and come out of it starving, or just like starving within about 15 minutes of finishing. After finishing,
goodness, wow.
Eat again. On a big day, big days are Wednesday to Sunday, where I've got a ergo workout. Indoor rowing trainer. I use a Concept 2. So I have a Concept 2 workout for about 90 minutes, a little bit shorter, and then a light lift, and then I'm done for the day. So like massage or ice bath or something. And then Thursday to Saturday, I'm on the boat for up to 7.5 hours rowing, and I stop at about the halfway mark, about 4 hours in. I eat a lot, and then go back on the water about 90 minutes after I stop, and have the other half of the Monster and energy bar, like or we just make it at home, like a healthy oatmeal cookie, essentially, with some added protein powder in the mix, and then row for 7 hours, and I'm done.
Wow, that is something.
7 hour day, and that's Thursday to Sunday, or Thursday to Saturday.
Okay. That is so interesting. It's like, I don't know if I'll be able to row, maybe just a few strokes for me. That's it. I'll have to like take a while for me to get to your level too. And, and of course, has anyone ever asked you about, ever thought about maybe getting involved in Olympics or anything like that? Or
I talked to my coach, Ben Booth, who owns and designs Next Boat Works out of the New Bedford, Massachusetts, South Dartmouth, Mass area, and he would say, no, you're not going to be able to go to the Olympics. And I pretty much agree. So rowing across an ocean like the Atlantic, and then re-gearing and refitting and crossing Greenland on skis,
wow,
is something I'd rather do.
Mm-hmm.
I did think about the Olympics, of course, right away, feeling that we're going to the Olympics for rowing is something that I would have really enjoyed. And I feel I would, of course, been competitive and probably came out nearly with a medal. And who wants to be fourth place, the loneliest winner, the loneliest finisher.
Right. And of course, everybody complains about the silver and bronze as well, too. And I tell people, well, you got something at least. It's like, too many people shoot for the gold, but you say, hey, you get the gold, that's great. But silver and bronze, you should be just as happy as that. And they say that, the silver medals and the bronze medal are just as much as the gold medals these days.
You're winning or losing by fractions or hundredths of a second in some of these events. And in coastal, you don't see people winning by a half a second. You can win by 15 to 30 seconds in coastal racing. Sculling, it's more how much longer. You're within the span of your hand winning a coastal or winning a scull race, crew race, and there's any number of obstacles for each. Coastal, we're out in the water, out in the open water with waves and surf and chop. And sculling, it's that clean, like shooting a bullet. There's not a whole lot that has the opportunity to really interfere with it. And they're protected waters. And I don't know what it looks like for sculling right now for these Olympic Games, but I have a feeling that it's a man-made lake. that's probably 6 feet deep or 12 feet deep, and it's equal across the board. And nobody wants the end lanes anyway. So
right. And what are the chances of the U.S. rowing team getting a gold medal in the rowing games?
For the running right now?
Correct. Yes.
For what?
Yeah.
For running, I think we're very strong.
Yeah, for rowing games, like what are the chances of them?
For rowing, I think we're very strong. I think rowing right now, they're very strong. They came out and they weren't really very good early in the year. And then I can say probably the most dramatic and controversial coach in the history of rowing, Mike Teddy, started acting like himself, and it hasn't helped. And he's threatening athletes, and the guy's all fiery, and he can go from saying horrible things to saying I couldn't make it through a day without getting to see you guys and coach you, from articles I've read, and I wouldn't want to be a part of that.
Right.
It's like I don't need you. If you're going to be this way, these games aren't about you. You're the coach. The games are about the team, about the camaraderie, about the lack of borders amongst athletes, and that we're all here for showing our very best and being our very best, inspiring people, and maybe changing our communities in some way. This guy apparently thinks otherwise. It's all about him and how angry he is. So
it sounds
not a person I want to be around.
It sounds like one of those throwback coaches in a day, like in any sport, like with Bobby Knight, Billy Martin, or say with I'm trying to think, the current one, like say John Tortorella in hockey, displaying tempers that really rub off on athletes, and you just get them motivated. Nowadays, it just pushes them away.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been motivational for coaches to scream negatively at athletes. It's not the military. In a military combat situation, you're in a much different mind space. It's similar, but I'd say in fair competition, in collegiate sport, in Olympic level, or professional level, that you need to go into things with positivity, and you need to put.
Right. And I think that's important as well, too. We'll talk about your mindset, positivity, and everything else, too, and how you got started influencing people and more. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Dia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Dia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Dia has garnered great reviews and Eve Levin endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Dia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether a gift of grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast on over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show through a mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at themikewagnershow.com and also on Amazon at the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, including great books by Mia Molson-Dia, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Dia. Make sure you order today. And don't forget to donate to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Also on Anchor FM/PayPal, and also on Anchor FM as well, and PayPal too. So make sure you donate today. We're here with the amazing professional adventurer, endurance athlete, and keynote speaker, Andrew Gillman, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And, you talked about your amazing adventures like, uphill ski challenge, ice climbing and more, and rolling as well too. And what was that one moment that simply precisely influenced you into what you're doing today?
I feel it precisely, or maybe influenced me. I don't know if there's a whole lot of precision behind what influences me. Was definitely the fact that I want to challenge myself. I wanted to finish my triathlon career strong, take some time to figure out what else I wanted to do. And from there, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to push myself in new ways in what my passions are. And I said, I've been missing skiing. I haven't been climbing ice. I love riding my bike, and I need some type of, I hate to use the word, but adventure. I need something that's going to challenge me where I'm not totally in control. And there are a lot of variables that I can't control. In triathlon, if you don't want to keep racing, you got to stop because you have a mechanical issue, that's fine. Somebody will pick you up. You're probably in front of someone's house anyway, and they've got a car more than likely, and you could always find the race director, and you're done, and it's safe. If you're climbing ice, and you have a problem, you need to fix it. You need to figure it out. You need to change your gear, change your tactics, and things change. You're not in control of water that's frozen that can start melting or is melting. And rowing is just another extension of all of that, where you're out in the ocean or a very big lake, and you need to keep your head dialed in. You need to have your nutrition lined up. You need to have your communication systems online and operating correctly. You need to have your rescue systems that are satellite-based, those accounts active and functioning. And you need to be self-reliant. And then your attitude is not just what's going to have you win, but it's going to be what keeps you alive. You can't control the waves.
That's really interesting. And what's the 1, 2, or 3 adventures that you plan on taking on next, besides the going solo rolling around Long Island?
I'm looking at crossing the Atlantic with a friend on a rowboat. And then from there, after crossing the Atlantic, I like to ski across Greenland. Try to do it relatively close together, but you have to go during the crossing season, and we'll see what that looks like.
Okay.
And after that, look at crossing the South Pole.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, these are things that everybody does.
And then how about you? What are your thoughts of trying to climb Mount Everest?
I'm not interested in Everest.
Really? Why?
Because there's guys who had $80,000 who only climbed with a very light pack on Denali, who are too old to be on Everest, probably too old to be on Denali. They're reliant on climbing Sherpa support. They're not fit. They're not experienced. They pose a risk to themselves, and the climbing community will take care of you. They will do their best to not just be a hero, but to take you home and to make sure you're safe and get you down.
Wow.
And you can't put people at risk like that at that altitude where you're dying. It's very slowly, but you're surely dying of oxygen starvation. And I think there's a lot more to be had on Everest. But the permits are very difficult for certain routes, and I think there's more interesting places to climb in the Kangaroo region and the Himalaya.
Okay. And then what about like other mountains and hills you plan on climbing? So if you're not planning on climbing Mount Everest, what other mountains or hills do you plan on climbing? Or what would you like to climb, I should say?
The most difficult climb to get to. I like to do some ice climbing in Iceland, and there's a peak in Russia called Pobeda, and that's nearly impossible to get to. The expedition is really about getting there, and it's incredibly cold. So that's an idea, but I think logistically, it's nearly impossible.
Okay.
There are just so many unclimbed peaks in the Himalaya, and to climb up those and ski down. Alpamayo in South America is a phenomenal peak. I have a friend there right now climbing, and so yeah, there's definitely adventure to be had. I've climbed all the peaks for the most part that are 13,000 or 14,000 feet in Colorado in the winter, long enough ago that there weren't phones on my camera.
Oh,
and I don't
wow.
think I had it was like 2002, 2003 when I was climbing these. It's almost 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
So somebody goes, well, why do you have any pictures of those? I go, because the cameras are about the size of a small backpack, and I didn't have the money for it. I was 20, and it's not something I thought about taking. It was like the last thing I would have probably thought about taking was a camera with me. In the winter, you just have so much gear that you're dragging with you anyway, and the possible need for a rope, not knowing what I was getting into. And some of the 13ers, you need a rope if you want to be smart on some of the descents without crampons. So, you can go in any direction depending on the route we would take. We were lucky we survived a lot of it very legitimately.
It sounds like one of the more challenging ones you did, going out to Colorado as well too. And also heading over to being a keynote speaker. And, you've talked about some things, and what are some of the things you often talk about, where you go, and, how do people contact you to be a keynote speaker?
So what I typically talk about is the attitude that it takes to climb a mountain, or to climb ice, or to row, or be involved in endurance, and in a situation that you're not in control of. Your training, your confidence, your gear will keep you alive. But if your attitude is in the gutter, it's like not having anything with you. You might as well just be in a cardboard boat, and and digging a hole through it. You're going to drown yourself. You're going to get hurt. And so I talk about the attitude and the will to endure. And because you need a positive attitude, and you need the will to endure, no matter what's going on. And whether you're caring for yourself, or caring for a loved one, or you're racing a marathon, or you're participating in your first 5K, whether you're walking or running, you need to keep yourself going, and you need to have belief in yourself, because we are as capable as we believe we are. We can also capably get ourselves injured, but we'll probably have a smile on our face right until that last moment where you're now desperately hoping someone comes and picks you up. So you can have a positive attitude all the time until you get injured. And even then, when you do get injured, if you're in a situation and it is now become an adventure, it's no longer smooth or dreamlike or calm and prepared for, and it's chaos, it's still up to you to have a positive attitude and to maintain that all the way through, including the recovery and the treatment, because you'll never get back to where you want it to be.
Right. And that's very true as well too. And we'll talk more about your project and what's coming up as well too for Andrew Gillman. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war ring author Mia Molson's Day of Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This photo books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisbooks.com. We'll be back with professional adventurer, endurance athlete, and keynote speaker Andrew Gillman after this timeout. This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with the amazing Andrew Gillman here on The Mike Wagner Show. And he's got the new project he's going to be taking on in September, solo rowing around Long Island. And how can people support your cause?
You can check out my Instagram and my website. I believe the website is up. The Instagram handle is Driven by Endurance. And Driven by Endurance. Yes.
Okay.
Sir, Driven by Endurance. And you can find me on drivenbyendurance.com and
Okay.
the Instagram handle #Driven by Endurance.
Okay.
And from there, you can see what I'm up to. We'll have a lot more rowing related content due to my photography team starting on the 17th of August.
Wow. Okay.
And I'll tell you, it's very hard to take a picture when you have an oar in each hand. Yeah, thank you. And so please do follow me. And if you want some selfies of me while rowing, it'll look like the same distance between you and eating a sandwich at any time. Because if you lose an oar, it's like a comedy act, which is more like a drama of trying to get it back.
Oh my gosh.
Every time you're holding onto one oar and you lean over for the other one, the oar goes further from you. And I conveniently have long levers on my upper body. My arms are very long, which definitely help. But you don't want to lose the oar. And so all of my selfies, if I took a picture while rowing, would be just like me eating a sandwich. You'd get a very good look at my at the pores of my skin or the sunglass screen.
Oh my god!
So that's where that is. And yeah, I would love everyone who's listening to follow me. And it really makes it a lot easier to have sponsors if people are following #Driven by Endurance. And I really don't like social media. I'd rather meet with somebody at a table, meet with somebody at a restaurant, or meet people I speak with in person, because I'm an in-person person. I believe in relationships and I cherish them. And by following me, I'm able to develop more adventures and have more funding. And you interacting with me and asking me questions publicly is really what's going to help get me to that community to have an adventure, or to come into that community and talk about what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it's the attitude of survive, the attitude to persevere. My boat is called the Perseverance.
The perseverance. Okay,
Because-
we'll keep that in
Yeah.
mind, and we'll get everybody to support you on Instagram and all the social media as well too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Andrew?
Biggest influence in my career. Well, my first instructor for climbing was Brady Robinson. And Brady was my climbing counselor when I was in sleepaway camp, and now he's my neighbor. And he was a pretty big deal in the climbing world, where he's climbing peaks in Kazakhstan and the Karakoram, and climbing with Conrad Anker and Jimmy Chen and those guys who are absolutely phenomenal, prolific climbers and adventurers. But I'd say my biggest influence is probably Amundsen and my friend John Huston.
Okay.
And the early pioneers and impromptu adventurers. Shackleton didn't plan on his adventure, and that was an adventure. It was unplanned, it wasn't dreamlike, and it wasn't smooth. And their morale and willingness to maintain order and attitude. So I think Shackleton and those adventurers like Amundsen were absolutely people who I look at and learn a lot from while reading the epics of them.
That's very amazing as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Go prepared. Open yourself to resources. When I realized that I'm much better off with a team, that there are a lot of people who know much more than me, that I have resources and that I can ask them for more. My good friend is Dana Gleason of Mystery Ranch Backpacks, and they're also a sponsor of mine. And I said, Dana, I need like a adventure mentor for the Arctic and stuff, or adventuring. And he goes, oh, I'll connect you a polar dude. John. It's like, who's polar dude? Oh, John Huston, but I just kind of call him polar dude. And so John's phenomenal explorer and adventurer of the Arctic, and has a great book out called Forward. And to be able to talk to John, it's like, how do you train? What do you eat? How do you deal with these logistics? How do you deal with the safety? Is phenomenal. And finding resources, finding those people who can say, yeah, you can join me. You can help me clean my gear, organize my underwear for mountaineering. I mean, just get to them.
We certainly do so, and that's a fact too. So once again, we're with Andrew Gillman, professional adventurer, endurance athlete, keynote speaker here on the Mike Wagner Show. Andrew, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been terrific. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects or adventures. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people simply check you out or inquire about being a keynote speaker?
So you can check me out on my website, drivenbyendurance.com. You can please do follow me on drivenbyendurance hashtag on Instagram. And then from there, you can find out about me as I'm circumnavigating Long Island solo on my coastal rowboat. And you can find that all out really starting on the 17th of August. And, just the absolute amazing amount of endurance that's going to take, 5,000 calories a day at the minimum. And it's, for keynote address, sponsorship inquiries, for any aspect that you want to be involved with who I am or who I work with, such as numerous local Long Island-based nonprofits like Leukemia Lymphoma Society, please reach out. I'd love to hear from anyone who's interested.
We certainly do. So once again, Andrew, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor.
Definitely.
Up to date. Love to have back in 2021 beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific, and we wish you all the best, Andrew.
Thank you.
Picture this photo books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Preserving memories, keeping the memories of your loved ones alive as they reach in and touch your heart. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether it's a gift of past holidays, grandma's recipes, long ago moments, or just because. Those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. Once again, that's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethisphotobooks.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.